Hey, how y'all doing? I have I guess maybe it's a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know. You tell me. So I wrote a book. I wrote 9 books. They're not all finished, but one of them was, to my understanding, almost finished. So I wrote it 18 years ago, and I had the inspiration to get working on it again and editing it and all that stuff. And I'll show you the proof and stuff. I'll make another video to clip onto this so you can see. But I'm reading it, and it completely, symbolically, and in a lot of ways, I can go on deeper meaning about everything, but it completely mirrors my life, what I'm going through, what I have gone through. It's just I wrote things that there's no way I could have known to happen. So, there's that. And then, I had the understanding all this time. I've told everyone the same damn story, that the book was almost finished. I had 35 chapters done. So I'm editing it, and I get to, I think, chapter 20 or 21, and then there's no chapter 22, and the rest of the chapters are blank. Why would I make chapters with nothing written on them? That doesn't make sense. That's not how I do things. So tell me how I have 22 to 35 blank chapters. And then the other weird thing is I remember the story. I remember how it goes. I wrote the rest of the book happening. I know what happens in my head, and I got to 21, and there was the last chapter it left off on was the girl and her best friend were at a powwow, and she was having some interesting experiences, but I remember in my head that some other stuff happened while she was there, and it didn't. And then, so I don't know if you've ever written a book, but when you really get into it and these characters are alive in your head, and the story is alive in your head, it's very, I see it. It's just, it's like a other memory, I guess. Like you have a really intense dream, or a vivid dream, or maybe a premonition dream. You remember that for like the rest of your damn life. It just is ingrained in your brain. And it's like, if I didn't write this book, if the words aren't there, it's not there, how do I remember how do I remember it all? And I know I worked tirelessly on this book. It was like my baby. It meant a lot to me, and I remember writing it. And it's not there. What the fudge? So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with my book and the chapters disappearing. Okay. See how I have, 32 chapters? 32. 20 was actually the last chapter I did. See, but okay. This chapter, I remember writing more than that, but I made the chapters up as I went, but I go to, let's say, 25, and it just has the chapter number, and that's it, and it's blank. When I really remember the rest of what happens, and it's all this 18 years. I thought, no, I knew that I wrote more. I told everyone this, and I don't try to lie. I don't lie. I'm confused. Okay, I wanted to clarify and add on to this video something I was thinking about with what I said, and what questions you guys might have, or observations about how, when you write a book, the characters and the situation, the story is ingrained in your head like a memory or a dream or something, that you can't forget. But when I made this story, I, wrote chapter outlines for each chapter, character cards, and worked off of that. And I had all the 32 pages, and the reason, I don't think, I know, I remember things, especially if I write them, better than if it's just in my head for a minute and I lose it. So I would always make sure I wrote down everything about the story, and it just seems really improbable to remember, because it's not like I remember from chapter 21 to 32 like every single detail and things that happened, but there's certain key points I remember happening and writing about that aren't there. And I hadn't finished the book. That my whole going into this, beginning to work on it again and edit it and everything, I knew I needed, I was at the climax, and I knew I needed to figure out the ending. And then, I get there and we're not even to the climax yet. So, yeah, I know there's probably not a lot of writers out there. Hopefully there are, but anybody else? Is this a glitch in the Matrix? What do you think this is? Because I'm very just flabbergasted. There's so much going on that I'm flabbergasted about, but we'll get to that later. But, yeah, stay safe, stay aware, and peace.